Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's One Piece Treasure Cruise video, of course, we have to do a preparation guide for the upcoming treasure map versus One Piece Film Red Chopper. If you enjoy my One Piece Treasure Cruise content and the way I do things, I would very much appreciate a like on the video and also a subscription to the channel to not miss out future content and to show your support. Without further ado though, let's prepare for treasure map versus Film Red Chopper. The first mini-boss will be Strength Mr. Gordon. He reduces the special charge for every unit, so that is beneficial for us, but then in his preemptive in the final stage, he gives 5 turns of Ship Bind, makes Perfects harder to hit, will make all of the slots into either unfavorable, block or bomb, will give our captains 6 turns of Bind, and then he will also give us 10 turns of Chain Coefficient reduction while gaining Defense Down immunity. My team to beat Gordon is this one using Double Bone Clay as captain. We're actually using 3 treasure map legends, but do not worry if you do not have them, you don't really need them. You just need of course to replace their utility or damage boosting respectively. Bone Clay is here, he is awesome for this quest. First of all because he can become Q to have color advantage over the Strength Gordon. He can make all of our slots guaranteed matching no matter what they become. With his super type he can give us a chain lock to counter the chain coefficient reduction, and he can of course also boost our damage. Sanji is only here to give us an attack boost, you can replace him with another attack booster or damage booster, whatever unit you want. Smoothie and Oven, they are a free to play unit and they are here to give us an ore boost. For majority of our units, they are also Q and they have color advantage over Gordon. Just make certain, because they manipulate slots, that you activate them before you activate Bone Clay, so you can get the guaranteed slots. Treasure Map Doflamingo is only here because he is Q, and then Blackbeard's importance here is to remove Bind completely. You do not really care about the rest of his special, he can give you chain boundaries, but we have the chain lock from Bone Clay, so that's more than enough. If you do not have Blackbeard, replace him with someone that can remove Bind. And make certain that that unit is not your captain, because the captain will be the one binded. For a Bone Clay replacement, you mainly need guaranteed matching slots, even through block slots, and then of course not someone to turn Q, but someone to also help you bypass the chain coefficient reduction. If you do not have one unit that does this, you can obviously replace more units, and since Doflamingo does not have any important role in this team, you can replace him for whatever helps you with utility or damage. This team for maximum damage can do around 80 million and the point boost is 4.20 times. The next mini boss is actually another strength one, Usopp and Yasopp. Dex Q and Int characters get special cooldown reduction in stage 1, and in the final stage we will get 2 turns of special reverse, 10 turns of Ship Bind, 5 turns of paralysis on everyone, and 1 turn of a nullifying damage shield on the enemy alongside delay immunity. My team here will be using the new free-to-play Uta unit as captain, the 5-star version at first. When we super evolve her, the 5+ version will also do of course, and then I'm not going to deal with Ship Bind again. If you have the Sunicune, you can use the unit here, but you also need to choose one quest to use the Sunicune, either here or versus Gordon. I would actually advise you, if you have the unit, to use it here. It's probably better because this boss has more HP scaling and higher HP. Then we have Carrot Wanda, a unit that must be limit broken in order for them to resist the special rewind, and then give every other unit on the team their specials back, and on top of that they are going to boost our damage, and they are Q, so they are an awesome unit to use here. Then we have Crocodile, another treasure map legend. He will give us an attack boost for all of our Q units and also chain boundaries for even more damage. And in the bottom row we have Ray Jimbe, who needs to have his double special activation limit break ability maxed out in order to fully deal with paralysis, and the previous treasure map unit, Film Red Sanji, who of course can remove the nullification shield completely. Other than that, he does not provide much else, but his role is pretty important. As the only non-free-to-play units in the team, for the Treasure Map Legends you can replace Carrot and Wanda with someone that can help you regain your specials, and then Crocodile with someone that can boost your damage. It goes without saying of course, but if you replace them you will lose out on a lot of damage, but with this specific team the maximum damage output is around 58 million and the point boost is 5.48 times. The next mini-boss is Q, Lucky Roux and Ben Beckman. The special cooldown reduction at the start is for Strength Q and Psi characters, and in stage number 3 the main boss changes their color to Dex, Q, Psi or Int, so the rest of the 4 colors. They turn all of our slots to block, and then they gain 5 turns of a damage reduction shield, they give 8 turns of despair, they also give attack down under a specific chain, specifically 3 or less for a 90% attack down for 5 turns, and also 5 turns of resilience while also gaining delay immunity. My team to beat this mini boss will be this one. I'm going to be using a friend captain Shanks. He's actually pretty important because he can change the color of the mini boss, whatever they decide to be, into strength, and our Q units can have color advantage. He does that with his super type ability, and in order to happen you need to have a unit that unlocks his super type. In my case it is the Strength Yasopp here. He's a free to play unit, he's a Fortnite unit if I am not mistaken. If you do not have it though, you can still use the Lucky Roux, the Dex version we got from the treasure map quest, if Yasopp is not available, because I'm not certain. He might be available, I just already had the unit. Anyway, just use a unit to unlock Shanks' super type and you're fine. You do not even need their special, it does not matter. Yasopp is useless here, other than giving Shanks his super type. Shanks can also make all of the block slots matching, Siki can do the same though, and Siki, as captain, he can give us an ore boost for our Q units, and then if he is level limit break 3 or more, he can also remove despair alongside sockets, he can remove 5 turns. If you do not have him level limit break 3 or above, you need more despair removing units, so you need to make some adjustments to the team. An extremely easy solution to this problem is to replace this Yasopp with the new free-to-play Uta unit, either 5-star or 5+, but with double special activation to deal with despair alongside your sockets. If you do that, of course, you cannot use her as double captain in the previous team that I am using her in. You can just use Carrot Wanda or another captain that boosts the majority of your unit, since Uta does not help with utility in that team anyway. To deal with the chain, we have Treasure Map Summer Frankie. He just gives us a chain lock, pretty simple. Then our 2 middle row units are extremely important for a couple of reasons. First of all, Magellan and Hannibal provide poison to the enemy, and that will help us bypass resilience. On top of that, they actually give us a color affinity boost, and then Smoker gives us a chain boost. Why are those two important? Since Shanks' special can actually provide those boosts. It is important because if we activate them before we activate Shanks, then Shanks can remove the damage reduction shield completely. And also if we activate them before the special and the super type can also boost our already existing color affinity boost that Hannibal provided. Another important tip for this team, make certain you enter the quest on Hannibal from Magellan Hannibal, because Magellan does not get special cooldown reduction. In addition to that, activate Siki's special before you activate Smoker, so you can get a higher ore boost. This team can do around 50 million damage, and the point boost it can provide is 5.01 times. Next up we have Strength Shanks as the next mini-boss, and the special cooldown reduction will be distributed to Free Spirit, Shooter and Cerebral units, and in the final stage, our top row specials will be reversed for 4 turns. The boss will gain now and delay immunity, alongside 6 turns of threshold, 7 turns of a defense sub shield, and 6 turns of a damage reduction shield. So lots of defensive effects here. This is obviously a quest made for Beckman and Roux, but I do not have them, nor will I use them as friend captain, so this is the team I will use. Double Super Sugofest Uta as captain. She will give us a full board of matching slots, and she will also apply her unique effect to guarantee us an attack boost and an ore boost throughout the quest. Activating her twice in stage 1 will give us more damage, of course, in stage 3. Then we have Hyogoro, who can reduce defense up, give us a color affinity boost for himself mainly, but that will help our damage a lot. Then we have Shinobu, who can remove 6 turns of threshold, so the threshold completely. Then Ain alongside Brook will remove the damage reduction completely, and Ain will also remove the remaining turns of defense up. So other than Uta, pretty much everyone else here is focused on removing the defensive effects from Shanks. The only boosting we get outside of Uta's abilities is the color affinity from Hyogoro on himself and the chain boost from Shinobu. If you do not have Shinobu or Brook here, the two rare recruits, you want to replace them with units that can reduce or remove the respective defensive effects. Here I have Ain, and Ain can remove 2 turns of defense up and also damage reduction. If you have here double special activation, that becomes 4 turns. Hyogoro is 6 turns of defense, Shinobu is 6 turns of threshold, and Brook is 5 turns of all 3 defensive effects. So Brook is awesome, and as you can understand, in this team I have overkill of defensive effect removal, but generally if you just have enough, you are still good to go, and the damage with double Uta and our other 2 units is more than enough. This team can do around 64 million damage, and the point boost is 5.89 times. For the main boss of this treasure map, we have Int Uta, Fighter, Free Spirit and Shooters get special cooldown reduction in stage 1. In stage 2 we do not know the color of the mini-boss, it might be Strength or Int, but we know that it applies 7 turns of Bind to our friend captain and 7 turns Despair to our own captain, while also gaining Delay immunity. In stage number 3 we will get Special Reversed for 3 turns, 10 turns of top row special bind, so for our 2 captains, 1 turn that we are limited to 4 taps, the boss will gain defense down immunity, 5 turns of threshold, and we also have now present, which is not that big of a deal. My team for this quest will be using the new Super Sugofest Luffy, of course, since I was lucky enough to get him as double captain as well. He is the highest booster of this treasure map, so that's good. If you can, I would advise you to use him as friend captain at least. That is definitely beneficial for you if you did not pull him. For 2 reasons actually. 1, the special cooldown reduction his super type provides, and 2, the fact that you can activate his special multiple times to get lots of damage. So immediately, if you do not have Luffy, replace him with a captain that is good enough to help you in some way in this quest and boosts your units, of course. For example, Bon Clay or the treasure map legend Sanji or someone like that. Even treasure map Halloween Koala can help to, of course, make you resist the special rewind. You won't be able to activate that captain special in the final stage though, so make certain you can either carry over their boost, like in Sanji's case, Mugiwara 56 Sanji's case, or you don't need their special, or you just will activate it in stage number 2, not 3. The reason that is noteworthy, of course, is because of the turns of special bind. Now, in stage number 2, we have Despair and Bind. You need maximum sockets, and you also need to remove these debuffs. In this team's case, Chopper does it, V2 Chopper. He is also a Straw Hat, which means Luffy, our captain, can be activated, then we can activate Chopper, remove the debuffs, and Luffy can also regain his special to activate it again, and then we have an attack boost and an ore boost. That can only happen if you, of course, have him as a captain. If you do not have him as captain, the other one is binded, so you cannot activate his special, then activate your bind remover Chopper, and then activate Luffy again. Not that big of a deal though. Even if you do not have Chopper, you can replace him with free-to-play Uta or another Despair and bind remover and just remove the debuffs and then activate Luffy to gain an attack boost and beat the mini-boss in stage 2. Other than Luffy, you can activate your other captain if you do not have your own Super Sugofest Luffy, like for example Bon Clay for matching slots and a base attack boost, or Sanji as we talked before, so he can give you a 4-turn boost in damage that can help you in the final stage as well. I'm also using a unit that's not that important here, Sabo, Super Type Sabo, because if you activate him in stage 2, then you will get a very good chain boost in stage number 3, which is beneficial for the damage, but not really that this team needs damage, it's just the team builder in me that wants to get more damage. Like if you miss something else, utility-wise, replace Sabo with whatever helps. Something noteworthy for stage 2, Chopper gives a color affinity boost. That color affinity boost is not helpful at all. If you hit 3 perfects, you will get the same color affinity boost in the final stage, so essentially you lock yourself out of a color affinity boost. But if you do not hit 3 perfects in stage 2, you do not carry it over, and that means you can use another color affinity booster, like for example here Sanji Zoro, which can increase your damage by a lot. The same exact thing happens with Sabo's special, by the way, so keep that in mind as well. If you can manage to not hit 3 perfects, that is perfect for the maximum damage output, which of course earlier on won't be important. For stage number 3 now, Jinbe and Luffy's super type ability can give us our specials back. If you are using double Luffy, you do not need Jinbe. If you are using single Luffy, you do need Jinbe or another unit in his place that can help you regain your specials, which is pretty important. Jinbe, best case scenario actually, because you can activate him, regain your specials, and then Luffy will be freed from special bind and will have his special ready to go as well. That allows you to also activate Sanji Zoro after Luffy. Luffy will regain his special again, and then you activate him again for more damage. I'm pretty certain you get the point, but that is actually very optimized to do lots of damage. As you can see on the graphic on the left, this team can do like 530 million or something, maybe even more than that, so you do not need all of that, obviously. Sanji Zoro are here to help us with a color affinity boost and matching slots. Very flexible team, very strong team. Hopefully you can make the correct replacements to make it work for your box if needed. Use bind and despair sockets though, and the point boost of this specific team is 16.24 times. Finally, for the Intrusion Battle, we have Int, Film Red Chopper. In stage number 1, we have Free Spirit, Cerebral and Powerhouse characters given special cooldown reduction. In stage 2, probably either a Strength or an Int miniboss. All of our slots will be empty, 4 turns of paralysis, the miniboss will gain delay immunity, and 3 turns of a slot barrier that needs 1 Q slot hit in order to break. On defeat, the miniboss will heal us to 100% of our maximum HP and then lock our healing for 6 turns. In stage number 3 versus Int Chopper, we have 6 turns of attack down, now 9 turns of despair for our captains. He removes our beneficial effects, he gains delay immunity and 5 turns of defense up. He has an interruption when you give an attack boost, a NOR boost or a color affinity boost, and obviously you do not want to proc that, but if you do, all of the beneficial effects will be removed and also a 40% HP cut will happen. When Chopper is defeated, he deals 50,000 damage, so you definitely do not want to activate the interruption. My team for the Intrusion Battle is this one. I'm again using Luffy as double captain, the highest booster. He's not as useful here, mainly because of the interruption of the final stage. You cannot use him essentially in the final stage. He can still be very helpful in stage number 2 though. What we want to do there is activate Luffy, then activate Zoro to remove paralysis and get a 3-turn chain lock, which we can carry over to the final stage as well. Then activate Luffy again, and then activate another Luffy special, either our friend captain or captain, whichever is not activated, and that will give us an attack boost, a NOR boost, and a full board of guaranteed matching slots. That means a Q unit gets a matching slot, and then we can break the barrier and super easily proceed. That is the strategy for stage 2. For stage number 3, we still have Zoro's chain lock, the attack down is now applied, and limited rare recruit Tashigi support on Zoro activates, removing 2 turns of attack down. Then we activate Uta twice, and she removes attack down completely, 4 extra turns, and also reduces despair. Sockets will also reduce despair, and then we activate Jinbe with Colosseum Opera support to completely remove despair. Jinbe will also provide you with a damage reduction shield to help you survive the 50,000 damage Chopper will do after defeat. So to replace him we need damage reduction and some kind of despair removal. Then Bon Clay is here to give us a guaranteed full board of matching slots and also base attack boost, which is not an interruptible boost. And I also have attached to him Treasure Map Limited Rare Recruit Vivi. So when Bon Clay is activated, Vivi can give us a color affinity boost, and that color affinity boost is not interruptible because it is coming from a support and will be applied to Bon Clay and our two Luffy captains. So we can do more damage that way, but Vivi is definitely not necessary. The necessary supports here are only the utility ones, and Opera is not even necessary after you super evolve Uta. After that you can even replace Jinbe with something else that helps you either do more damage or have an easier time. Uta activated twice, by the way, I forgot to mention, I think will also give us a conditional attack boost against the defense down Chopper, which is great. For this team you need the despair sockets, the maximum damage is around 50 million and the point boost is 13.37 times. If you think that team is a bit hard to build for the intrusion, let's present another one more free to play friendly. We are going to use the free to play Uta as captain. When you super evolve here, even better, more damage. A friend captain Usopp Yasopp, the new legend, you need to enter on Usopp. And then in stage number 2, swapping to Yasopp will guarantee you a Q slot to break the barrier. When you activate the local sea monster you can have an ore boost, and then if you hit enough perfects you can carry an ore boost in the final stage, something not interruptible. And you can also activate Jinbe twice in stage 2 for a conditional attack boost and to remove paralysis. Then in the final stage you swap back to Usopp and you also activate him, so you now get a conditional attack boost against the delayed enemy and also a base attack boost which is not interruptible. Then you want to activate Uta twice. She will reduce despair and on top of that she will give defense down to the enemy, so you can penetrate the defense up shield. Uta can also reduce the attack down, and after that you want to activate free to play Robin to completely remove both the despair and attack down debuffs, but also get adjacent matching slots. The same will happen for the adjacent matching slots when you activate Karina. That's why I have these two in the middle row, so you can have a full board of guaranteed matching slots, and Karina will also give you a damage reduction shield, which will allow you of course to survive the 50,000 damage that Chopper will inflict after defeat. Easier team to build, lower damage and point boost though, with the damage being around 35 million and the point boost at 5.77 times. And these are all of my teams and explanations for the preparation guide against Treasure Map Film Red Chopper. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down below, I will do my best to help in the comments, and of course if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, leave a like, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe to not miss out on the treasure map quick playthrough I am going to do tomorrow when the treasure map hits, and as always, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.